Hello again. So last time I talked about twins and the formation of the twins, the monozygotic or the identical twins, which share exactly the same genetic material. And we also talked about dizygotic, or what is also known as fraternal twins, where they share genes as common as in two brothers or two sisters or brother and a sister. And what I'm always perplexed and surprised is that we always talk about genetics. In fact, I was seeing somebody who has a history of breast cancer, and that has recurred. And her sister had ovarian cancer, and somebody in the same family had another breast cancer. And I was telling the family to get genetic testing done with, especially for breast cancer gene 1 and breast cancer gene 2, or also known as BRCA1, BRCA2. Again, this is because when people have these kind of mutations in their genes, they are more likely to have breast cancer. Certainly, if the same mutation occurs in males, they have a higher chance of developing prostate cancer. Again, in females, it is ovarian cancer and breast cancer, while in males, it is prostate cancer and maybe some other type of cancer. But certainly in males, it is not as profound effect as it is seen in females. But today we are talking about genes and mutations and twins. So when you look at the identical twins or monozygotic twins, they almost have all the genes which are similar except for the few mutations that have occurred after the embryo, that is fertilized egg, has split, which I was telling you before occurs probably between 7 to 10 days area after the initial fertilization. As I mentioned in my last video, this is a interesting pair of human beings that could be observed for development of the diseases. Because our concept is that most of the diseases develop because of the abnormal genes, which may make you susceptible or may have mutation or something like that. Certainly environmental factors are there. In many of these twins, they live in the same household, they have same parents, same neighbors, same schools, and so on and so forth. Now again, so we can differentiate between the two sets of identical twins, one which are living in the same household, the other where they are either separated at birth or early part of the childhood and have a different environment. And so these twin pairs, these different groups of twins have a much more examinable disease pattern that we can see. So I'm going to take only one or two and then leave rest to you to investigate and look at it in keeping open mind. So one of the diseases is the narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a disease which I hope to make some videos on it in the future. Is excessive daytime sleepiness, which is uncontrollable. So we have 3 or 4 things which are there in a definition of narcolepsy. Not all of them are there always. One is a uncontrollable sleep. People fall asleep while talking, people fall asleep while driving, people fall asleep while watching TV. Number 2 is many of these people have a muscle paralysis or something like their legs give away with emotional excitement or agitation or laughing or that kind of stuff, which is called cataplexy. Number 3, some of them have sleep paralysis. While they're trying to wake up, they're awake, but their muscles and body can't move. And lastly is they get hallucinations at a time of falling asleep. So those are the things that are seen, but main thing is many of these patients lack certain chemical or neurotransmitter called orexin or hypocretin. Lack of this leads to this excessive sleepiness. Now, it is interesting to see that if you take a look at a monozygotic or identical twins, one of them has a narcolepsy, the degeneration of these cells in the brain occurs probably because of some kind of genetics or autoimmune process. Nobody really knows. But it can be due to the gene mutation, or it could be acquired. And then if that happens, we have seen that the concordance rate, which means if one twin has it, the second one will have it, that kind of rate is only 25 to 30%. That means if you take number of twins who have narcolepsy, and if you find out their other twin has only 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 chance of having the narcolepsy. It is very interesting to know that. Many years ago in Europe, I think there was a flu vaccine which was given, after which lots of people developed excessive daytime sleepiness, uncontrollable sleeping. And then they stressed it back to the degeneration of these cells, which produce these chemicals, which is called orexin or hypocretin, lack of which leads to narcolepsy. So these people had an acquired narcolepsy-like symptoms after a flu vaccine. This occurred several years ago. They found out that genetically, the antibodies tended to attack the cells which produce the orexin, because there was a similarity in the vaccine antigen and the antigenicity of the cells that produce the orexin. So as much as it controlled or prevented someone to get flu, it also caused the attack on these cells, and these people developed narcolepsy-like symptoms. So if the genetic material is 100% cell, rather 100% same, why is it that both the twins do not get low orexin related narcolepsy? That's a question that I have no answer. And many of these have environment also same. Same thing holds true for homosexuality in males as well as in females. And the concordance rate in monozygotic or identical twins, in one of the studies, there were like 38 pairs, and 34 were, I think, males, 4 were females. They even looked at triplets. And the concordance rate, that means if the one twin is homosexual, the other one is also, was about 65, 66%. While in dizygotic or unidentical twin, it was much less. Again, the environment was pretty much same. When they looked at a triplet, of which there were only a couple of pairs, one where the triplet was identical triplet, that means all 3 children had exactly same genetic, they all 3, this was only one pair, they were all homosexual. In another triplet, the twins who were monozygotic and the other one was unidentical, the unidentical was not homosexual, but the twins were both homosexual. So there is no question, compared to an average population, we have increased incidence of in monozygotic twins of sexuality being same. But it is not exactly same. It is not 100%, not even 90%, not even 80%. In some other studies, the concordance rate in monozygotic twins was only 40%. So that's really a surprising fact. So there must be something else which makes people prone to having a homosexual tendencies. Certainly they are born with it, but there could be some acquired element related to the nurtured part of it. So I think the twins are very interesting for the study, and differentiating between genetic influence and the influence of environment. I hope you will look into it, like this particular. Please join the video, subscribe it. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Have a nice day.